This video will walk you through troubleshooting an F21 error on a SmartPAC 2 integrated with a WPCII or WPC2000 system, as well as a standalone WPC2 or WPC2000 system. An F21 error is generally an operator station wiring error related to your run POM button wiring. Usually, it comes up immediately after clearing lockout and is caused by the run POM button normally closed side of the circuit. Regardless of whether you have a SmartPAC integrated or a standalone system, the troubleshooting will be done at the WPC2000 processor board. If the error does not occur immediately after clearing lockout but happens when pressing the run buttons, then it is likely related to the normally open side of the contacts. First, be sure you have the correct operator station, A or B, selected for the operator station wiring you are checking. To verify that your run buttons are wired properly, when using operator station A, you can check the green LEDs in groups 1 and 3 on the WPC2000 processor board. In a normal sitting state, the green LED in group 3 will be off, and the green LED in group 1 will be on. If you press either run button one at a time, the LED in group 1 will turn off. If you press both buttons at the same time, the green LED in group 1 will turn off, and the green LED in group 3 will turn on. When using operator station B, you can check the LEDs in groups 2 and 3 on the WPC2000 processor board. In a normal sitting state, the red LED in group 3 will be off, and the green LED in group 2 will be on. If you press either run button one at a time, the LED in group 2 will turn off. If you press both buttons at the same time, the green LED in group 2 will turn off, and the red LED in group 3 will turn on. If you have a press control that is integrated with a SmartPAC, you can view the status of your operator station inputs from the input status screen in the main initialization menu. From the main initialization screen, select Press Control, then select Input Status. Lastly, select F2 or button/switches. This screen will display the status of the various switch or button inputs connected to the press control. On means they are being made, and off means they are not satisfied. The steps you will need to take when troubleshooting the run button circuit are to inspect the run button terminals for broken and or loose wires. A connector screwed down on the wire insulation can cause an intermittent connection. You can use the meter to ohm out the string to find the open connection. Lastly, if you are still not able to find the open connection, perhaps it is due to an intermittent connection that the meter is too slow to detect. You could jumper out the run button normally closed terminals to see what jumpers clear the error. Remember, the indicator LEDs on the board can also be used to indicate whether the run button inputs are receiving the signal they need to be satisfied. If you are not able to find an open or intermittent connection, you can then measure the voltage at the normally closed input terminal, which is terminal number 1 for operator station A, and terminal number 2 for operator station B, both of which should measure 24 volts DC. When taking these measurements, you should find 24 volts DC on the normally closed terminals when not pressing the run buttons, and then 24 volts DC on the normally open terminals when pressing the run buttons simultaneously. If these voltages seem fine, then you can take ohm or continuity measurements of the normally closed and normally open connections. Lastly, if you are still not able to detect an open or the cause of the F21, you can try jumping out the normally closed input by powering down and placing a jumper wire between terminal numbers 1 and 9 for the WPC2 and 2000. You would then power up the system and see if the error clears. If so, then there was likely an intermittent connection. If the error does clear, you should troubleshoot the connections to the run button and replace any questionable wires. You would then power up again to see if the error returns. If you have the normally closed input jumped out and still have the error immediately after clearing lockout, it is likely being caused by a bad input on the processor board, and that board will need to be repaired or exchanged. Hopefully, you discovered a loose connection or broken wire and now your press is back up and running. If you did discover a possible bad input on your processor board, there may be further troubleshooting steps to determine if the board is the problem. Please contact our techs for further support. For further assistance troubleshooting this or other fault codes, please call 800-586-8324 and select option 2 for technical support. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Eastern Time.